He could transform his body into any material he touched and take on the properties of that substance. As a horde of enemies closed in, Crusher ripped off a copper chain and clutched it in his hand. In the next second, his body slowly turned brass-colored. Yet, mid-fight, a gunman in the distance fired without warning. A taser round struck Crusher, knocking him unconscious instantly. When he woke up again, he was trapped inside a glass prison. Escape seemed nearly impossible, but the guards had no idea about Crusher's powers. They turned around and found him gone without a trace. The two guards hurried over to the glass cell with their guns drawn, typed in the passcode and opened the door. Then stepped inside to check, but Crusher hadn't vanished at all. He'd simply morphed his body into glass. After breaking out, Crusher merged with a wall, sneaking into the enemy's inner sanctum undetected. The woman had just opened the box containing the obelisk, the very reason Crusher had come here. He seized the chance to launch a surprise attack on her. Enraged, the woman tried to make him feel the obelisk's power, but unexpectedly, she was racked with sudden, agonizing pain. The obelisk petrified her palm. Crusher stared in shock. He had no choice but to flee temporarily. When the woman's teammates arrived, they helped her into the car and sped toward the hospital. By then, her arm had already lost all sensation.
Cut it off.
She knew full well there was no time to spare. Left with no other option, they performed an amputation right there in the moving car. Meanwhile, Crusher suddenly appeared in the middle of the road. He touched the ground, turning his body into solid concrete. Seeing the petrified severed arm on the pavement, Crusher finally figured out how to handle the obelisk. He touched a car tire, his hand morphing into rubber instantly, then picked up the obelisk from the ground. But he'd still underestimated the obelisk's power. Less than a day later, his arm began to fester and mutate. A waitress walked over to check on him. She forced herself to stay calm and walked away, but Crusher's face was etched with worry. Moments later, a blood-curdling scream rang out. When the FBI arrived at the scene, the woman's body had been completely petrified.